Hello, I'm Alex from WhatCulture.com and welcome to Simple Fixes. What's Simple Fixes? I'm glad you asked. It's a show where we take a look at a movie and see how with just a few simple tweaks it could be made better, whether it's turning something good or something good great. This time, we're looking at Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now this movie's good, I really liked it and it's the best Episode 7 we could have really hoped for. But it could have been better. So here's 10 ways, just little tweaks that would have made the movie awesome. Number 10, make Lor San Tekka someone we know or less mysterious. The film opens really strongly. We're introduced to 4 of the main characters in about 10 minutes and all of the key plot points are set up. The only problem is you spend most of that time asking who the f*** is Lor San Tekka. I know, they explain it in the books, but we're not talking about the books, we're talking about the movie and it doesn't make sense in the movie. Now there's 2 very easy ways to fix this. Either make him someone we know, so not someone from the prequels, that wouldn't work because people had lynched JJ. You can make him a rebel, Dodonna, Wedge maybe, Wedge would be really cool. Make him someone we know, then his death would mean more because we know the person, and the film kind of acts like we should know him anyway. Explain who he is straight away and then we're not questioning it and you can get on with Finn and Poe's adventure. Number 9, explain Poe's survival. When Oscar Isaac was first offered the role of Poe Dameron, he was going to die in the first act in that TIE fighter crash. He signed on anyway because who wouldn't sign on to be in a Star Wars movie? But when he agreed to do it, J.J. Abrams said to him, "Oh no, it's fine, I figured it out, you're in the whole movie now." By figured it out, he meant, I'm just going to bring you back randomly at the start of the second act with no explanation. And that's really, really lazy screenwriting and really hurts Poe's character. He's not in half the movie and so doesn't feel as developed as the others. He doesn't even talk to Rey. Now this can be fixed very easily. Show him getting saved. Have a Resistance crew come and save him from the wreckage. And then you can use that as an in to a Resistance subplot. Show Leia, shows 3PO and build them up. Build up the New Republic so when they get destroyed later on, which I'll get to, it feels more impactful. Number 8, use Starkiller Base to better set up Hux and Kylo. Right, there is nothing wrong with another Death Star in this movie. It's like poetry, it rhymes. And the idea of Starkiller is really good. It's an actual hollowed out planet that uses the power of the sun to destroy other planets. And the whole stuff destroying the New Republic is really good as well. Little jab at the prequels, great. Problem is, it's not really set up. The other 2 Death Stars were the entire object of their respective movies. This one just turns up out of nowhere. You could introduce it earlier and not just then set up the key final battle, but you could use it to better develop Hux and Kylo. These guys bicker, they're like brothers, they're trying to get Snoke's affections. Use Starkiller to show that. Have Hux dedicated to the base, but Kylo not really concerned and so much more about finding Luke, so they can show the divide more. Number 7, fix the pacing at the end of the second act. Okay, this is my biggest problem with the movie and where it sort of messes up, the pacing at the end of the second act. So here's the situation, this all happens in about 10 minutes. Finn decides he's gonna run away, then Rey's like, no, you can't do that, you're a coward. Then she has the vision, and then she's like, no, I'm gonna run away, now I'm a coward. Then the First Order has a Death Star somehow, then they're invading the planet, and Rey's kidnapped, and the Resistance turns up, and then they're suddenly on the Resistance planet for some reason, and then the Death Star is now targeting the Resistance planet, and it makes no sense. It's so rushed, it's so clearly chopped down, and it really, really hurts the movie. Things get back to normal eventually, but it really hurts the movie and we lose Maz. It's bizarre. Now this isn't quite as simple a fix as some of the others, but using Poe to set up the Resistance and, showing Starkiller Base earlier means that we're going to be able to spread things out rather than having to rush it in at the end of the second act just so we can get to the third part. So what you need to do in this part of the movie is make things a little more cohesive and clear, and make sure the character decisions don't contradict each other. Number 6, explain where the lightsaber came from. Ugh, really? This annoyed me at the time, and it still annoys me now. They clearly wanted to have Luke's lightsaber in The Force Awakens, but they didn't really think about how it was going to work. Luke got his arm lopped off and it fell down to Bespin. It'll be on the gas giant or lost in Cloud City. You need to explain that. They clearly didn't think of this. There was an alternate opening where you're going to see Luke's hand clutching the lightsaber flying through space. I think they only cut that when someone went, JJ, you know that makes no f***ing sense. Even George Lucas would think twice about this. And it's not even that hard to fix. You can have a bit in Rey's vision where she sees the fight, which was gonna happen, and Luke loses his hand, it falls down and it gets lodged somewhere and an Ugnaught finds it, and that answers it completely. Or when Maz says,
a good question for another time.
Why not just have her explain it quickly? It doesn't need to be a mystery. In fact, it almost hurts the saber as an item if it is. Number 5, give Maz force powers. A lot was changed with Maz Kanata from the trailers. She was going to be at the Resistance base, as we saw in the second teaser, and the way she speaks in the third trailer was very mystical and almost Yoda-y, but in the film she's a bit more kooky. But the biggest of all is that she was going to use the Force. Seriously, there were entire sequences where she was going to throw stormtroopers about during the fight, and that would be really cool. It'd be a great little midpoint twist that makes the character much more interesting. And it also means that she just doesn't disappear. In the movie, she gives Finn the lightsaber and then she's just gone. Gone until episode 8. Just don't use that deleted scene that was on the DVD where Han's doing the Snoke stuff. That was going to end with her bringing the ceiling down on the stormtroopers. And it's not very good. You can do it a better way, but definitely give her force powers. Number 4, make Phasma traitor. Captain Phasma was everywhere in the marketing for The Force Awakens. She was the strong female badass, she had a cool costume. She was the gal who was hunting down Finn. What did she actually do in the film? She just kind of stood about there. She was there at the start, helping Kylo Ren kill a bunch of people, and then at the end, she just kind of gave up all the secrets of the First Order. It's a bit of a waste of a character. Maybe it's a meta joke. Maybe it's like, oh, Boba Fett was, useless in the movies, so let's make another character who's cool and useless. But if it is, it doesn't work. And fixing Phasma is not difficult. There's one simple thing you need to do. Make her traitor. Traitor! Just you put her in there, then you give her an arc. It would make sense for her to be wanting to hunt down Finn. It'd make sense to call him a traitor. It'd make sense to use the baton and stuff. It means she has an arc and character development, and when she does shut down the shields, you know where she's come from and you know how many times she's battled Finn. Number 3, have R2-D2 steal the map. R2-D2 was wasted in The Force Awakens. He spends the entire time asleep until he magically wakes up so he can just show us the MacGuffin. And it's kind of annoying, so just don't do it. Have him awake. Have him be there in the Resistance base and do one better. Have him go to Starkle Base with Han and Chewie and Finn in search of Rey, and you can have him there download the rest of the map. The Resistance don't need to have already had the map. They have the one bit that the First Order wants, and then they end up with the whole thing. This doesn't just give R2 something to do, but it also explains the map. The First Order have it because the Empire had it. It's the map to the First Jedi Temple, and the Empire just had that in their storage aside from the one little bit. It makes no sense for the Resistance to have it, so this ties up 2 of the major issues with the movie into one cool little sequence. Number 2, the Force line. I've got very little bad to say about the ending of the movie. After that pacing flub at the end of the second act, it's great. The lightsaber duel is phenomenal, the space battle is great, Han Solo's death works. The only thing I really have a problem with is how Rey gets an upper hand against Kylo. Not that she can beat him. Kylo Ren is obsessed with Hayden Christensen. She's probably going to be able to take him in a fight. It's the way that she realizes she has to use the Force. Kylo's like, I'm going to teach you the Force, and she's like, oh yeah, I can use the Force. It's terrible hackneyed screenwriting. I don't think Rey's a Mary Sue, but in that bit, she kind of is. And it'd be so easy to do it differently. She used the Force without Q when she was doing the mind trick, so just have her do it here. You don't need to explain it. Or, and this is really cool, and it might not work with where the movies are going, but it'd be great, have Luke say, use the Force, Rey. Chills. Number 1, don't make Rey's parentage a big deal. What's the big question you had after The Force Awakens? Who are Rey's parents? And there's loads of fan theories. It could be Luke Skywalker, Han and Leia, Jyn could be involved somehow. Maybe she's a Kenobi or Palpatine or the Chosen One again. So many ideas. And that's a bit of a problem. Rian Johnson's in a catch-22 here. If he makes Rey related to someone that we know, then we've probably guessed it. And if he makes her someone completely new and the family a new entry to the Star Wars universe, it's going to feel lackluster. There's no way to make the payoff to that work. If you compare it to the twist in The Empire Strikes Back, we didn't know there was anything wrong with the story Obi-Wan told about Anakin being killed by Darth Vader. Whereas here, we're expecting a twist, we're expecting a rug pull, and it's just going to disappoint. There's so many questions that we have going forward into Episode 8. What was Luke doing? What did the vision mean? But this is one question I don't think should have been leaned on as much. You can set up a bit of intrigue so people will be talking online, but don't make it the one big question you have at the end. By all means reference it, but you don't need to put as much weight on it. You don't need to have her talking about how she's waiting for a family or how she's on a secret mission. You can just have it be there underlying. Sometimes less is more. So there's the 10 simple fixes to make Star Wars The Force Awakens awesome. How would you change the movie to make it better? What did you think of our choices? Let us know what you thought down in the comments, of course. Be sure to subscribe for more great film content, and here's my Twitter, and I'll see you soon.